Good evening, and thank you for joining us. As we're seeing there, Carly, I mean, that was a bit of a wild game there last night for the Bandits.
It was an exciting game
Rough
for
and
sure.
tumble.
Yes, the gloves dropped. We had some buckets go flying, and yeah, we got some good highlights coming up in the cast for sure. So trying to stay alive in that series, the Bandits are.
Look forward to seeing that, definitely. In Gerard, wasn't a terrible day out there. It's obviously getting below zero, though. We've got some snow.
Yeah, we've got some snow to be concerned about and some icy conditions on the roads as well, both coming to Lloyd and heading back in either direction, either to Edmonton or Saskatoon side. It's really been dicey. So again, people be careful as you're going along. Let's see what we're dealing with right about now. The wind chill is not doing us too bad. We're at -3. That's actually a high today, and 90% what we're seeing in the humidity levels. The winds out of the south-southeast at 9 kilometers an hour. What we're dealing with later on, well, Battlefords, they've had a good share of it. It's eased off, but there is some more coming as well. So too for our region and as well the Lakeland. We'll talk about it a bit more, and in the meantime, Jacob, it's back to you.
Edmonton police have arrested an 18-year-old man, Colton Peter Joe, for the murder of 28-year-old Vegreville resident Jason Ward. Joe is charged with one count of second-degree murder in the stabbing death which happened last Sunday. Vegreville RCMP and EMS responded on March 13th to a rural residence and found Ward suffering from stab wounds. He was transported to hospitals in Lac-La-Biche and Edmonton, but died later that day. Police say Colton Joe was taken into custody today without incident. A court date has not yet been set. A Lashburn couple is $1 million richer after cashing in on the Maximilians prize draw. Robert and Lori Cardinal won the cash after Lori bought a 21 Lotto Max ticket from Sobeys in Lloydminster. Lori checked the ticket online early Saturday, and sure enough, after getting it verified, the couple found out they won just over $1 million. They plan to buy a camper and a boat with the winnings, and Robert plans to get a job closer to home. Wild Rose Alliance leader Danielle Smith made a stop in the border city last night to speak to residents and garner support for her party. Jenna Bridges reports.
I'm delighted to be here in Lloydminster again this evening.
The leader of the right-wing Wild Rose Alliance party delivered a message to those who attended a fundraiser at the Stockade in Lloydminster.
I think Albertans have been accustomed to their political leaders taking common sense approaches to solving problems. I think that's why everybody's left scratching their heads at how wrong things have gone over the last 5 years.
Last month, the Alberta Conservatives released yet another $1 billion deficit budget, and Smith thinks citizens of Alberta are ready for change.
I don't think they can be fixed with the change of leader. Our members don't think it can be fixed with the change of leader. We think it's up to us to provide an alternative to Albertans so that every Albertan has a choice of voting for a Wild Rose candidate in the next election.
The party thinks it's time to do away with the centralization of decision-making and building huge bureaucracies. When speaking with the mayor of Lloydminster, Smith says they agreed on handing more responsibility over to municipal governments.
He and I agree that the best way of being able to deal with the issues in local communities is to allow local communities to have more autonomy, to trust in local mayors and councils that they're going to make the best decisions.
Wild Rose candidate for the Lloydminster Vermilion area, Danny Hozak, also addressed Highway 897 and a proposed overpass at the Kitscotty corner. The party believes major infrastructure projects need to be prioritized according to the benefit of the province as a whole, not just communities with strong MLAs lobbying in the provincial caucus.
What we have to do is we have to take a look at how much money we have, and then we have to analyze if this is the worst corner in Alberta, well then it should be fixed first. And if it's not the worst corner in Alberta, then we should fix the worst corner in Alberta.
The frustration people have at being promised over and over and over again that they're going to get schools or hospitals or interchanges and then they don't materialize.
The Wild Rose Alliance party continues their tour of Alberta to speak with residents, and next up is a stop in Tullabee Lake. Jenna Bridges, Newcap News.
Well, reading through textbooks and doing homework tends to make school boring, but some grade 10, 11, and 12 students at the Cold Lake High School are getting the opportunity to go more hands-on. As Clayton Brown explains, a multimedia class is taking a new approach to the program as students get to produce a daily news show.
Every morning, students in most schools get to sit and listen to announcements over the intercom. But Jared Nichols' class has made their own twist, and instead, kids at the Cold Lake High School get to watch a morning news show.
I got inspired from another program that I went to visit in Arkansas that does daily student news. Came back and said, I want to take my multimedia program in another direction. So we said, okay, starting semester 2, we are going to do full-time, everyday student news.
In the class, students get to learn all the aspects of the television industry.
I have about 16 jobs in the newsroom, from producer, director, to camera operator, and so every day we have a producer who runs a production meeting. We go over all the packages, all the stories that are going to go that day.
And the new hands-on approach seems to be a hit with the students.
For the most part, it's really fun. We get to put together our own news. We always throw little jokes into the news and everything.
It's a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be, I'll be honest. I wasn't really looking forward to getting up every morning, but it's actually so much fun.
But it's more than just learning how to put a news show together. The students are enhancing everyday skills, such as organization.
So they do have real deadlines. They have to go out, get their interviews, get all of their shots, come back, edit it in Final Cut in the class, and get it ready to go to air.
And it's an opportunity the students are grateful for.
I'm actually shooting for film school myself, so it's great that I actually get to work with a crew, and I get to work with lighting, and I get to work with cameras and everything.
Who knows, maybe we might have someone from this class who might want to go out and pursue it as a career.
In Cold Lake, Clayton Brown, Newcap News.
Looks like we better watch out for the competition there. Well, spring is right around the corner, and that means summer is not too far behind. Lloydminster's Summer Street Fest held their first planning meeting of the year today. We'll have that story and more after the break.